I'll show y'all why I did that later in the video. But anyway, guys, welcome back if you're tuning in. So this is gonna be more of a informative video for you guys out there that might want to do video. Hopefully, I inspire you guys to get started with that today. And this is gonna be my process as far as filming, editing, uploading, thumbnails, the whole process. And I'm gonna try to make a quick version of this y'all can digest. So with that being said, yeah, this is going to be for those of you who want to get started and maybe not necessarily have a whole bunch of equipment. Not everybody is lucky enough to have hefty DSLR cameras, even though they are nice. I actually had one. My cousin let me have his back at our family reunion. And he let me take some pictures with him, and it was nice. You know, it was nice to drive the boat, so to say. But that thing was heavy, and when you add on all the attachments like lenses and stuff like that, it's kind of inconvenient. But it is nice to have. But this is gonna be if you want to bang it out with your iPhone or your Android. This is for you. But this pretty much can apply to everybody. Definitely on the editing part. If you need a good editor, I'm going to show y'all LumaFusion today. Probably the cheapest thing you're going to be able to get. I believe this app is like $20 versus the big editors out there like Camtasia or Sony Vegas that's going to run you anywhere from $250 to $500, $600 for a good editing program. And this editing program I'm going to show y'all can pretty much be on par with those for $20. So I'm going to show y'all that too. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the thing. I guess I'll just start with my settings that I use. But before I get started, I just made this mistake because I'm doing a retake. Please take the notifications off of your phone and put your phone in airplane mode. I had a call and it messed everything up. So make sure to do that before you call. That's beginner stuff. I should have known that. Shame. But anyway, yeah, let me go ahead and take y'all into the app I use to film, which is Filmic Pro. And do not use the native app on your phone. If you're just starting out, it's good. You can use it. But the only thing you'll have control of is pretty much your the resolution that you shoot in, and for the most part you can't do it within the camera app. You have to go to the settings and choose 720, 1080p, all that good stuff, and go from there. But with Filmic Pro, it allows you to have a lot of control. So I'm going to switch back and forth here between my iPad and my iPhone because I'm going to have to use two screens to show y'all how to do this. So with that being said, I'll go over my settings here. Now, because I'm on iPad right now, y'all won't see all the settings, but going into resolutions, you can usually go up to 1080p to 4K depending on what type of device you have. I usually say 4K all day, but I joke when I say that, but I usually just stick with 1080p and use 4K if I'm feeling real good that day. Because it takes up a lot of space. I have a 256 gigabyte iPhone and a 128 gigabyte iPad. So it gets what I need to get done. And down here where you see Filmic Extreme, that's the megabit rate. That's one thing also that your phone is not going to be able to choose. So the higher the bit rate, the more quality, the higher quality your video is going to be. So I usually just go all the way to extreme, which is 50 megabytes on 1080p and 100 megabytes per second on 4K, I believe. So you also can choose between 16.9 ratio and these other ratios right here, square, letterbox, and all that good stuff. So going here to frame rate. Let me see something first, y'all. Okay, I was just making sure my screen recorder was on. Frame rate, I usually stick with 24. It's the most cinematic looking frame rate. 30, I haven't done 30 in years, but that's going to be usually your normal setting for YouTube videos. 60, if you want a faster fluid motion, 60 is your best bet, but I don't use 60 that much anymore. And the higher frame rates beyond that, 120 and 240, are good for slow motion. So I'm gonna get out of that. And that's pretty much all I have to show y'all. I could go down here to the camera, because I'm on iPad, y'all ain't gonna be able to see all the settings. But usually, if you go down to the camera icon, you can choose between the wide lens. If you have a dual lens camera, you can choose the tele. Tele basically helps you have that optical zoom where you can zoom in but not lose focus at the same time. So that's sweet to have if you have a dual camera, which I do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get out of that. And one more thing, these red, blue, and green reticle here on the lower left hand side, this is going to be more of an advanced feature, and it is an add-on if you want to purchase it. But I usually shoot in log mode, which I'm already in, and it scripts the colorway. So I'll change it up just to show y'all what it looks like. So that's the natural, dynamic, flat, and log. But this is going to be the most bland color that is going to shoot in. This allows you to have more range when you go into your editing program and add color back in. So that's why I shoot in log mode. But most of y'all probably ain't going to use that anyway, but I just thought I'd bring it up. Also here in the center, you see my levels. You can see, if you stick in the green range, you're usually in good levels as far as your audio, and you see your battery life and how much memory you have in that little pie chart, all that stuff in the middle. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to show y'all the rest of this. So now I'm going to move into what's called the Filmic Remote app, which is a companion app for this. And it allows me to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to connect to my camera that I'm filming with right now. And this is coming from my, hold on. Come on. Please, come on. Don't mess up on me. Hold on. There I am. All right. So this is what is coming from the iPhone feed right now. And hopefully this all comes together when I edit this. Oh my Lord. I hope this isn't a problem when I get ready to edit. But anyway, so what you want to do first of all, you want to make sure your lighting is good. So this is cool where I'm at right now. So but if you hold it down, you can change your brightness and all that good stuff, your shutter speed, stuff like that. But I ain't gonna get into that right now. But you want to make sure it's locked so it doesn't change on you while you're filming. And also here, the focus. So let me explain my focus here. I usually like to go what's called the bokeh effect, which is basically your background is blurred and you have more focus on your subject, which would be me. Because iPhone, Android cameras, their lens is so small, it's usually hard to do this. You have to have the camera up real close on you. And DSLR cameras would be better at this than iPhone. So that's one advantage of having a DSLR camera. So I'm going to bring this camera up a little bit closer. So what I like to do, I'll stretch my hand out, and the middle of my palm usually needs to reach the top of the phone here. So that's usually what I like to go for, and from there I can work. So on here, I'm gonna bring up the focus. Right now, I want to kind of get it to where it's just right. Right now, I'm still out of focus, but usually that third notch is where you want to go. Let's see what that second notch does. That's a little better. I think I'll go with that. I'll move it up just a little bit. About right there. Now you can see my diplomas, the chair in the back, my internet modem, and the TV. All that stuff is blurred. So that's usually what I like to go for. It just depends on what I'm shooting at the time. So to lock that in, you tap it again and it'll be red and all your stuff is locked in and we're ready to start filming now. So that's pretty much all the filming process. And I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all into the editing portion. All right, y'all. So here is the cutting board, and this is the app I use right here, LumaFusion. LumaFusion right here. It does cost $20, so let me go ahead and get that out the way. But you got to invest in yourself. So yeah, just get over it. Now, if you want to go into iMovie, that's fine. It's cheaper, but it's not going to be as robust as this program is. And this program here, I would dare say, competes with programs like Camtasia or Sony Vegas, or I think it's Final Cut Pro for Mac. It does a dang good job for $20, and these other programs are going to run you, like I said, $300 or more. So with that being said, this is going to be the best bang for your buck. Android users, unfortunately, is only for iOS. So your best bet is to use probably KineMaster, which is I think it's Kine Master. That's how you spell it. But with that, I tried using that before when I had a Galaxy, and I think it's subscription based if you want to use the full deal. But with this, it's $20 and you done. But yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into things, shall we? This is LumaFusion. So for this purpose, I'm going to start with a new project. When you start a new project, just keep it as my project 4. It doesn't matter. And since I shot this in 24, I want to make sure it exports in 24. So also, you want to make sure you have a program that exports in these frame rates. I think iMovie does 24, if I'm not mistaken, up to 60. But it's been a long time since I used iMovie, so I don't know. And also, you want to keep your landscape 16:9 ratio if you're using horizontal. You can go 9:16 if you're using vertical. If you're doing something like IGTV or something like that, you can use that, but it has other formats that you can export in as well. But for that, we'll just hit that plus sign and we're ready to go. So with this, I'm going to drag my main file here, which is what I got from my iPhone. And also I'm going to drag this here, which was the screen capture I got from my iPad. So y'all remember that clap I did at the beginning of the video? That's my audio cue, so I can audio sync these together. So let's go find where that clap is. I already know where it is, so it should be around 120 here on my main timeline. So what I'm going to do here, and they've updated LumaFusion since last time, and they added 6 video tracks and 6 audio tracks. So that's what I like about it. And also this little feature right here, which helps me mark my timeline. So we'll just say clap right here, so I can easily find it. If I ever lose my timeline, I just click right here, and boom, I'm back where I am. So that's where my clap was. So we're going to try our best to sync this up. So you can trim here, but let's leave it. Let's go back. And this is my undo button right here. So now this is the waveform of a clap, this little peak right here. So now I want to drag this here. Lost my spot. So now I can, boom, there I am. LumaFusion is going to do you dirty sometimes, so just bear with me. That's kind of it, but not exactly. I need to get it lined up just right so I can use my fingers to zoom out here so we can get this just right. All right, so as y'all see right here, the audio waves are meshed up perfectly, so they'll allow me to switch between 2 different views and keep my audio synced at the same time. So I'm not even gonna go through and cut and do all that because this video would take too long, but that's basically why I did that clap, and that helps with audio syncing. But also with this over here on the side, this is the audio meter, and it controls the overall audio. And with this, you can close the view of your certain timeline, so you can, if you want to just see one timeline, you can turn one timeline on and off by hitting that I button. You can mute a track with the speaker button here, and this button right here, this little link button, this links to timelines, but that's another video for another day. So I'm gonna close that out. But another thing that I also do, I'll just run to the end of this video here. So doing retakes and stuff like that, and I just learned this, you want to start from the end of the video and actually work your way to the front, because if you start from the front, I don't know how many retakes I did. Usually I do 100 retakes and I forget that I did 99 of them. So you want to start from the end, so that way you're already at the point where you did your final take, and then you know the rest of it before that is trash and you just throw it away. But also finding points in your video where you messed up. Once again, this audio waveform is very important. So stuff like this right here, this top line where you see the wave is very low, that's probably somewhere where I messed up, I'm quiet, or I'm planning on the, you know, the next scene of my video. So those right there, you automatically know, hey, let's get to this point and knock it out. So that's how you find those points very easily if you want to find them. All right, so another important thing I do during my editing process is color correction. So before you start chopping up anything, let's get the color editing out the way first, so that way you, because if you chop it up, you'll have to do it over again. So you want to do it while it's in one piece. So right now we'll go to this clip here. This is the edit button, this little pencil mark. And from here, you can choose your frames, whether you want to zoom out, pan to the left, pan to the right. But right now, I'm not going to go over that today. So we just reset it all and put it back to here. So today's purposes, I want to go into the cutter editing. So we'll click this here. I'm sorry if my hand is getting in the way, y'all. So from here, you have different color presets. Usually I just pick original, and there are also customized LUTs or presets that you can use, but I usually never really get into these. Sometimes I use them. You have stuff like earthy, golden, hipstagram, edgy, all that stuff, but today I'm not using them. So you can just start with original. So usually I like to go with I usually like to darken it up a little bit, a little more contrast, you know. So this right here, I'm going to take these levels up. Well, yeah, they're where I need them to be. So, you know, I want my darks dark. And also I want to take out all that white a little bit. Brightness, might turn it down just a smudge. Looking better already, right? Contrast, you can play with that a little bit. Yeah, that's clean right there. I like that. So I'm gonna go with that. You can mess with the saturation, but I'll just keep that where it is. This way you can choose your shadows. I usually bring mine down. And this is the color. If you want to get more red, you can get more red, turn that down, more green. It brings out basically separate colors in your video, but I'm gonna leave it alone for that. My gamma a little bit, and I think I like that right there. That's a little bit more nice right there. I'm not so overexposed with the lighting and all that stuff like that. That's usually the color I like to go for. But you can also, if you want to keep that, you can hit here and you can save that as a custom preset, which I already have one. So I'll go back. So just depending upon the video, this may look good, it may not, but I had one and I just called it dark and clean, and it's already set up to go. So you can have it preset and ready to go. But that's pretty much it on that. So I can't honestly get into everything, but with this here, I'm gonna go, if you click that button at the left top there, you can go to photos. I don't know what Narbox is, so don't worry about it. Import it if you want to get some, maybe like from Dropbox or something like that, or your iCloud. You can get it from import things there. Titles, transitions, story blocks. Story blocks is subscription based, but it has a couple free things in here you can use, from backgrounds. Also, it has sound effects. If I can get off of here, crap. All right, so music, loops, sound effects, all that good stuff. So that's a nice addition to LumaFusion as well. So I'm gonna exit off of that, but that's pretty much everything I like to go into as far as LumaFusion. Just hit this button here, and you can save it as an audio only, or you can go just upload the full movie. I just usually upload the photos from here. It goes from 1080p, 2K, all the way to 4K. You can export 24 frames per second, and also with this, you can also export in different bit rates as well. So I did mine in extreme, so it's going to be 50. But if I wanted to save some space and go to 24, you can. And that's pretty much it. But with this video right now, where it's set, it would export at 6. Oh my God, we need to change that. 6.66 gigabytes. But anyway, yeah, but y'all see, this stuff will add up very quickly. So yeah, you want to make sure you have something with a lot of storage. But that's pretty much it on the editing process. So we're gonna jump out of here. All right, so that's pretty much it. Other than that, just upload to YouTube. I guess I can get into thumbnails just a second here. I use photoshopmix for that. Depends on how detailed I want to get into this. So let's say, for instance, let's see, I'll use this image right here, me fooling around on camera. So let's say I wanted to do some cutting out of this. So pick this part here. Boom, boom, bam. Hit that check, and there I go right there. And then if I wanted to add some text, blah. There you go. And that's a thumbnail right there. So that's basically how it works in a nutshell. So photoshopmix, free app. Not sure if it's available on Android, but I know it's on iOS. But that's one thing I use to do that. Export that, and then once I go into YouTube Studio, click on one of these here. So if I wanted to edit my thumbnail, go to change here, and then even though I didn't export it, so it's not going to show up. So if I want to just click that, and it'll automatically change my thumbnail. So that's how you would edit your thumbnails on YouTube as well. All right, so that's pretty much going to be my process. That's going to be the quick version. I can't get as detailed as I want to, as I'm trying to keep this video time down. But if y'all like that and found that very helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all next time.